Most experts spend years honing their skills, building deep expertise, and earning credibility. And that is great until it isn't, because here is the truth. Expertise alone is not enough anymore to cut through the noise, make an impact, or scale influence. I see it time and time again that the professionals who are making waves in the field aren't necessarily the smartest in their industry. However, they've just figured out how to systemize, package, and of course, monetize their expertise in ways that work for them without needing to be in every room, every call, or every client engagement. I call these authority assets. And there's a difference between experts who have the skills and authorities who have the skills plus who can create frameworks that do the heavy lifting for them. Now, experts know a lot, but authorities know a lot and can articulate, package, and distribute their knowledge so others can use it. In the end, if you're not building authority assets, you are leaving money, impact, and of course, freedom on the table. And this is exactly what I will break down in this episode. Firstly, what authority assets are and why they are the ultimate form of leverage. How the top authorities in their field build and monetize them, why they are the best investment you can make for your career and business, and of course, I share a simple framework to start building yours today. With that said, let's dive in. My name is Petra Singh, and this is episode 177. Let's kick off with clarifying what authority assets are. Most professionals think that having X years of experience is enough to get chosen as a fractional executive, which is one of the biggest trends that we've been seeing for quite a few years. And I also spoke about that in a previous episode. I will put the link to that episode in the show notes so you can check that out, what I mean with fractional executive. But it's the same for being chosen as a consultant, as an advisor, as a board director, or any kind of service provider. But here's the reality. Experience alone isn't enough anymore to create long-term success. And this is exactly what I teach in the Trusted Authority framework, the difference between knowing a lot and being known for it and becoming the go-to in your industry. Experts know a lot. Authorities know a lot and can articulate what they know in a way that resonates with their audience. Experts solve problems when they get tasked to do so. Authorities create frameworks that translate knowledge into action. And this is where authority assets come in. They don't just help you scale, they also help you own your space and be the mate for your expertise by turning your knowledge and your experience and your education into something people can actually buy, follow, and implement also when you are not there. There are three types of authority assets. Firstly, signature frameworks. It is your unique, repeatable approach to solving a problem, which is the foundation of the trusted authority. Then we've got monetizable IP. This is based on your signature framework, but it's more tangible, like a course, a license model, toolkits, playbooks that allow others to use and apply your expertise at scale without you necessarily having to actually execute on it. And last but not least, we also have the scalable service models, and that includes things like group advisory or group coaching, any kind of ongoing retainers or subscription-based consulting that create predictable revenue without adding more hours to your workload, but people are able to tap into your IP. And this is the difference between selling time versus selling transformation. But let's talk about why authority assets are the best investments you can make. Think about it. We are all in the business of business, exchanging value for value. For most professionals, it looks a little bit like that. Either knowledge for money, so that's traditional employment or service-based businesses, or money for money. And this is where traditional investments like stock and real estate come in. But what is totally underestimated and underutilized? Yes, it is trading intellectual property, IP assets, for money. And this is how trust authorities move beyond simply earning from the expertise and instead turn it into an asset that works for them. Now, most people invest in stocks, property, crypto, and startups, and they're all valid options. However, with stocks, they are unpredictable and the yield depends on the market conditions. With property, you need capital to start with because in the end, if you didn't grow up with a trust fund and you can tap into those unlimited resources, you will need to get the money from somewhere. Plus, it can also take years to generate passive income. And people often think that digital products like memberships or courses or any kind of digital products are also passive income, which couldn't be further away from the truth. They are at best, leveraged income. But you still need to promote that all the time because people are busy with their lives. People are not interested. People are interested, but then don't commit and so forth. So nothing that's connected with your service or your IP or your knowledge is passive ever. And then with startups or crypto, again, it's high risk and low control. There's only so much that you can actually control to get to the outcome that you want. Trusted authorities, on the other hand, also invest in traditional assets, but they focus on investing in a method that can be licensed, sold. Their expertise generates revenue without their direct involvement. They also invest in developing a signature framework that gets bought without them selling one-on-one, so they can become the obvious choice in their industry. And of course, they also invest in developing digital and service-based products that create this recurring revenue, so they stop trading time for money. And here is why authority assets are the smarter investment on top of the traditional assets. Firstly, they create a higher ROI for you because you are monetizing something you already know instead of gambling on external factors. And you also obviously have more control. Unlike stocks or property and real estate, you dictate the value of your authority asset. You can sell it for $1, you can sell it for $100,000. In the end, it is worth what the market is willing to pay for. And often with knowledge or service-based offers, it is a subjective connection to that. Another benefit is that it is scalable. Because once you've got a framework, a licensing model, or a course, you can sell it to 1 or 1,000 or 100,000 of people without extra work. While a consulting session can only be sold per hour because there's only so many hours in the day. And last but not least, it also builds long-term equity. People will remember your process, your framework, and your authority long after a client project ends. This is also the benefit of you having your own IP rather than using other people's IP, because you don't have to pay a license agreement or any kind of franchise fees to use their proprietary IP. So for example, Brené Brown, incredible researcher on all things vulnerability, her IP is now embedded in corporate trainings, in books, and of course, leadership programs. And she doesn't have to be in the room to monetize it. Her authority assets do the work. And trust authorities don't just deliver this expertise, they create frameworks that shape industries that can be used also without them being in the room. And I have done exactly the same thing. I developed my trusted authority framework once based on research and my own expertise and experience working with a one-on-one client, and I still deliver one-on-one consulting and coaching simply because I absolutely love it. And as an introvert, it is totally suitable to me. But besides that, I also have a book that is a leveraged asset. I've got an online program that is a leveraged asset. I've got the actual framework that I simply plug and play into different organizations and groups that I'm working with. I'm not recreating the wheel from scratch every single time, because especially as a consultant, your time is based on the client-facing deliverables, and that's usually when you facilitate a workshop, when you chair a meeting and so forth. When you do have to do a lot of research and a lot of preparation and a lot of admin in the background, nobody pays you for that. Yes, of course, you can package it into your pricing, but if you even have to come up with the actual foundation of how you get people the results, you are literally getting less than minimum wage per hour paid. And this is no one's fault but yours. So how do we shift from expert to asset builder? We need to make sure that we are moving out of this expert zone. It's basically the friend zone that we don't want to be in. And let's be honest, most professionals stay in this expert zone / the friend zone forever. Why? Because that's what they've been taught to do. Gain more qualifications, get more experience, deepen your expertise, get another few years of experience in a different company, and then add this and then add that. And yes, it does feel productive. Honestly, learning is the most socially accepted form of procrastination. Don't get me wrong, I love to learn. If I could do anything for 24 hours, I would learn, and I still do it because it feels good, it feels productive, it feels like progress. But it's also a hidden trap that keeps us stuck in this transactional expertise instead of building long-term leverage. And this is exactly what the expert trap is. It is when knowledge alone is not enough anymore. There's a common belief that the more qualified you are, the more valuable you become. So what do most professionals do? They focus on building their credibility with more degrees, more certifications, more in-depth expertise. But what they don't realize is that more certifications don't automatically create more opportunities, that more experience doesn't automatically increase their value, and also that more skills don't automatically make them more in demand. And this is what's known as the expert trap. Experts think that if they just keep improving their knowledge in their specialization, clients and employers and projects will literally run the door in. And it would be great, wouldn't it be? But here's the reality. There is no automatic correlation between how much you know and how much you earn, especially in today's world where we have access to unlimited knowledge and information, if not for free, then at a very affordable price. And the most financially successful professionals aren't always the most knowledgeable ones. And you can say this is not fair, and that's okay. The world is not fair. So you can either get on with it and create your own proprietary framework and package your IP, or you can put your head in the sand. These are the options that we've got. So the good thing is that we do have options and we can take action on that. And this is exactly what we want to do through skill stacking. And that's very different to getting more qualified. What is the difference between skill stacking and just getting more qualified? Let's be honest, whatever we are good at and we enjoy doing, we can do more of that over and over again without necessarily burning out or getting bored by it. And this is exactly what the expert trap is all about. We are focusing on honing this one skill set in this one specialization more and more rather than adding new skills on top of this foundation, because the real competitive advantage comes from stacking multiple and, most importantly, complementary skills so that your value compounds in a way that no one else can compete with. So let's take an example. Two consultants with the same expertise. One has 20 years of experience in the field and a PhD in their field. And the other one has 10 years of experience, but also have developed a monetizable framework, a scalable advisory model, and a thought leadership platform where they can build a community through content and establish their thought leadership. So who do you think earns more, influences more people, and gets more inbound demand? Hopefully by now you are curious how you actually can make this shift and transition from being the expert who knows a lot to be the authority by knowing a lot, systemizing, packaging, and then monetizing your IP through authority assets. In the end, the top one of professionals don't just collect more knowledge. Otherwise, they would be a walking, talking library. And again, in the world where we've got access to information and knowledge with pretty much no boundaries anymore, how valuable is that these days? So what do authorities do? They extract, package, and then monetize their knowledge in ways that create scale, influence, and of course, long-term results without them having to be in every conversation, in every engagement, and every decision. And this is how you can get started with authority asset building. Step number one is that you need to get clear on your value proposition. And I developed a very simple formula to follow. However, having said that, simple doesn't mean it's easy to do. So what do you need to do? You need to connect your brand promise, meaning what is it that you want to stand for and that you can back up with examples, case studies, and testimonials with the exact transformation that your decision maker wants, and of course, how you uniquely deliver it. And this is your point of differentiation. Step number two is to extract this IP. You need to document your unique process, the system or the framework that delivers results. So basically, how can you take them from here, where they are, to there, where they want to be, with 3, maximum 7 big steps that can comprise a few smaller steps along the way. But with that, you make it a lot easier to communicate what needs to be done to take your decision maker from where they are to where they want to be over the next 3, 6, 12, or 36 months, whatever it might be. Step number 3 is that you need to package it for scale. You then turn it into a method, a toolkit, or a training so it actually can be implemented without you. Firstly, you need to deliver the training or that course or this method or this toolkit yourself to see what is the feedback, where do people get stuck, how can I add more resources, how can I explain it in a different way that it doesn't cause confusion, how can I add another case study to make it really clear what people should actually do and how it is done in the right way. And then last but not least, step number 4 is to monetize it beyond the one-on-one engagements. You can sell it then as a licensing model, or as a productized service that you can then also bring other people in who can deliver that for you, like a training or a consultation or a coaching program, or of course, any kind of recurring offers, including a SaaS product, the software as a service product, like a subscription or anything that has more of a membership based model. And this is it. It sounds simple, but the implementation of it is actually not that easy. And I always say it is hard to read the label when you're inside the jar. And we are very much inside our own jar with our own emotional connections to certain outcomes and the biases that we are exposed to, and simply not being able to see the forest for trees. So if you are thinking you want to take this next step and you want to learn how to systemize, package, and of course monetize your IP in a structured way, then I've got something special for you. I'm running for the first time ever a live training on exactly that step, the commercialization part, which I usually just share with my high-end clients when they go through the entire program and pay quite a bit for that. And in this training, I will show you exactly how you can systemize, package, and monetize your expertise. How you build an authority asset that generates revenue also when you are not working, when you're not in a room or on Zoom. And of course, the 3-step framework to turn your knowledge into scalable offers. This is perfect for senior executives, for consultants, and thought leaders who want to stop selling time and start selling transformation. If you're interested in being a fractional executive or working more as a consultant rather than as a full-time employee, then make sure you listen to the episode where I talk about the rise of the fractional executive, what it actually is, and what it takes for you to make this transition. Other than that, I'm excited to see how you systemize, package, and of course, monetize your IP. Make sure you tag me when you do so and when you share your signature framework, because I'm always rooting for you.